So here we are in another Loud House Critic episode revisit. And there have been so many people that actually want me to revisit this one because this was an earlier episode before I started getting my whole entire fountain of knowledge into the Loud House more. Yeah, in the old video, when I said I actually like this episode, I'm suddenly changing my mind about this one now. And it's also the 4th episode of season 1 of the Loud House. And long story short, to actually recap the story, Lincoln actually records an actual video of his sister's most embarrassing moments in order to win a video contest at school. Some people may actually find this episode fun to watch, but when I watched it again, I just don't like this episode. And safe to say that this was actually the very first worst episode to actually come on the Loud House. Yes, Lincoln is actually the main character, and he wanted to get a trophy so badly. But video recording something of embarrassing moments of your own sisters and actually posting it online, that can get you into huge trouble. And that would really piss someone off. And while the sisters being angry wasn't executed well, they still had the right to be angry. And people say that Lincoln is innocent in this episode. I mean, come on. He knew he was embarrassing them and only felt bad when his classmates pointed out, which is stupid. However, something I will disagree with this, that if my brother or sister did the same as Lincoln, I would do the same as the sisters. It wouldn't be justified to my brother or sister, but I will be angry and upset. I will be able to say, I hate him or her, which I've never said to any of my siblings, even though I know that I don't mean it, and I do point out something that I will forgive them. To look at the sisters' point of view, their brother recorded embarrassing videos of them, shared it on the school page, and pretty everyone watched it and made fun of them. And when they asked him why, he said that he just wanted to win a trophy. He did something bad to them for selfish reasons. What more do they need? Their behavior didn't seem out of place because, as I said, I would be disgusted by my brother's actions if he did something like that, and I will stay away from him, even that says the harshest words. Whether I mean it or not, I wouldn't be able to help it. Lincoln doesn't really seem to have an explanation. He told them what he did and why he did it. To me, the sister's behavior wasn't unlikable because I know that if I was in their place, I would do the same. Well, kind of. So, to the viewers, the sisters looked unlikable, but if we put ourselves in their place, we will see where they are coming from. And I can see anyone say what Lucy said in this was kind of serious, and at the end, they would still make up. Also, the sisters' comment didn't seem that harsh besides Lucy. So, I think you are a little overboarding. They didn't beat him up or anything. They just walked away and shrugged him off while he is poorly attempting to apologize because they were disappointed at him. And yet, some can say, I really don't get the hate for this episode. Lincoln did something wrong. He realized he did something wrong and he fixed it. What's wrong with that? Well, if you open your eyes more wider, then you would see why. The problem is the execution. Not to mention the plot itself isn't really that interesting as it comes off as your typical cyberbullying story. Plus, no one comes off as likable since Lincoln's reason for getting a trophy is determination and materialistic as it shows. He only wanted a trophy just because it looks so nice. The sisters aren't likable because how they handled the reveal of the video. Sure, they have the right to be mad at him, but they went way over the line, especially with Lucy's line.
I have no brother. I know I say that a lot, but this time, I mean it.
As shallow as that was, that's unfortunately the best way to describe these characters.
Implying how she would be much happier if Lincoln killed himself. This is something that insanely angers me because nobody should be telling someone to kill themselves. And Clyde isn't likable here either since he doesn't even do anything in this episode and his presence seems completely pointless. It's such a waste of potentially interesting episode of Lincoln finding out his talent, especially when Lou Ann was the one who told Lincoln that she wouldn't even post nothing without their permission. Point proven, fool me twice. And just because she had personal cameras around the whole entire city to have her family watch her doppelganger screw up their own personality life, it didn't mean she would actually have posted online. That's one thing that they stay true to Lou Ann's personality character, especially when she said it in this episode. I think it's safe to say that this was the very first worst episode of The Loud House. So to speak, the very first worst episode of season 1. You only have to watch this once, but once you finish watching that episode, I told you so. This actually has been a revisit, and I'll see you guys the next time.